Hello, and welcome to the set of our brand new uncooking show, Sexy Bitches Like It Raw.
If you're ever in doubt how you might go about what you said, you're hard to. And right here in this now, we will show you just how you can play like we do. It would be such a crime if you didn't take the time to cultivate all the seeds you could sow. Once you give it a try, you won't never deny why sexy bitches like it raw.
Hey, welcome to Sexy Bitches Like It Raw in Hawaii. And we traveled all the way out here to the Big Island to show you how to make some raw pie.
Actually, cheesecake.
Oh.
It is incredible.
Raw cheesecake. Yay! Raw cheesecake. Hawaii! Woohoo!
We're at a community called Pangaea. It's a permaculture community, and there's an organic farm here, and incredible fruits and vegetables, and lots of really hot hippies.
Viewers, you should definitely try this at home.
So let's start the recipe. What do you think? Hey, I'm May, and I'm going to teach you the first step of how to make raw vegan cheesecake. It's very simple, but it just takes a little pre-planning. So what I've done is I've just soaked this bowl of cashews, raw organic cashews with some filtered water, and just enough water to cover over the cashews in a couple inches so that they can get a little plump. And then I'm just going to leave them soaking for anywhere from 1 to 4 hours. And that's it. That's step one.
Word. So the first step to making the pie crust is to grind up some walnuts. This is just walnuts, and we used a coffee grinder because it's just what was here. So it's kind of good to be logical and just use what you have. Otherwise you can use a food processor, that's what's best to use, or a spice grinder. But that's all this is, it's just straight up walnuts. It's good for your brain. Walnuts are really good for your brain. If you look, they're shaped like a brain. They look like a brain, it's good for your brain. Logic. Don't be afraid of your food.
So the next step for making your raw pie is to put the crust into the pan. And what we're going to do is we're going to grease the pie pan with just a little bit of coconut oil so the crust doesn't stick to it.
Like so.
You could use a paper towel or you could just use your fingers because it's funner. Make your mistake.
You're welcome.
So now we're going to move on to making the crust. We got to get some ingredients. Be right back. Okay, so now we're going to continue making the pie crust. So far, all we have is some ground walnuts, and it's really super simple. We're just going to add a little bit of cinnamon.
And we got the cinnamon in the bulk bin and reused an old honey jar because we're eco like that.
It's sexy to be green.
And not with envy. All right, we just kind of pinched a
Tell
little in there.
Tell us about cinnamon.
Oh yeah, cinnamon's the bomb.
Cinnamon basically binds with sugar so that it's more of a slow release in your body. So it's good for anybody who has any sort of sugar problems to eat more sugar, especially when eating. Okay, wait.
Maybe not to eat
More sugar. If you have diabetes, eat more sugar. That'd be good.
So if you have sugar problems, it's good to eat more cinnamon when you eat your sugar because it causes a slow release in your body and you'll be more set.
Cinnamon also helps bring out the flavor of things, especially if you're just using a little bit.
Or even a lot.
So we've just added a little bit of cinnamon to this. It's kind of a to taste thing. You could add a half a teaspoon, you could add a whole teaspoon, you could add more if you really want it to taste like cinnamon. This is just a little bit of sea salt. Sea salt helps bring out the flavor in anything. So just like maybe half a teaspoon of that. And then we're just going to add some agave nectar. Agave comes from a cactus. So now we're just going to mix this up. Because of the natural oils in the walnuts and just a little bit of the agave nectar, maybe half a cup, a quarter cup to half a cup, it's going to become this mush that we can press into the pan.
Everybody loves mush. So this is our pie crust.
It's that simple. Again, all we put in it is walnuts, agave nectar, a little bit of cinnamon, and a little bit of sea salt. And that's all you need. Now we're going to put it into the pie pan that we've greased. And we're just going to spread it out with our fingers.
It's pretty hard hot to use your fingers. You know why? You can lick them when you're done.
It's an age-old trick.
But be careful where you stick it after you lick it. Oh shit!
That was good. Careful where you stick it. Afterwards you'll lick it. God wants you to eat raw food.
If you put a little bit too much agave, it's cool. You can add a little bit more nuts, or you can just stick it in the freezer after you've spread it out and it'll harden. So no worries. Pretty much if you mess up in raw food, it's really easy to fix it.
Exactly. The point is not to be intimidated thinking it's some hard, complicated thing. It's actually a lot simpler. Okay, so I'm just going to recap how we made the crust because it was so simple. I want to make sure this didn't get by you or doesn't sound too hard. All we added was 2 cups of ground walnuts. To that, in a bowl, we mixed, before we put it into the pie pan, a half a teaspoon of cinnamon, a quarter teaspoon of sea salt, and a quarter of a cup of agave nectar. You could also use dates or honey. So that's what we have in the pie crust. So we're just going to take this and we're going to put this in the fridge or freezer. If you have less time, we'll put it in the freezer so it hardens. And next we'll make our filling for the pie. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Creamy, dreamy.
Oh, makes me screamy.
So our cashews here have been soaking for a couple hours. And we are now ready to blend them in the blender and make cashew cheese. That's all we're going to do. We're just going to drain them of this water and put them in the blender with some new, fresh filtered water. Just a little bit, enough to be able to blend them with. And that's our cashew cheese.
After it's blended, then you just sit it out and it basically cultures itself, just like real cheese, only better.
So if you've got an extra day to leave it sitting out on the counter, that's ideal because it actually becomes cheesy. It starts to cheesify.
Cheese-delicious.
Yes. But we should actually probably show that. Yeah. Rather than just talk about it.
We'll show
We're
you
just
now.
going to tell you how we're going to make everything and we won't show you shit. We'll just kind of be like, yeah, throw that in there.
Check it out. We're
and
gonna play with some balls.
cool. We're going to eat it and afterwards, yeah.
Afterwards, your mom.
Know how to make it.
Yeah.
Point is, it's supposed to be fun. This is not some hippie Nazi thing. It's natural food that you got in the trees and on the ground. It's simple and it's fun. It's fun. You can do it at home. Yeah, it's fun.
I like it.